never again. Don't make me tell you again. I'm just a competitive man. Better when I got the pen in my hand. Trying to get set up and better my chances of being
Reflecting
better
with
and
humor,
better
like you said before.
All
Alright, so we've decided that this is going to be a bit of a heavy one.
A change of pace.
Change of pace. We want to tell a bit of a story. I'm not going to go into it right now, but if you could chuck those numbers up on the screen again, like we did for my dark one, I think that would be half handy.
I will.
I don't know how we're going to do that, but
We don't have a maybe we'll flash them at the start again.
yeah.
I don't think it needs a disclaimer necessarily. I
Yeah.
think the topic's a little lighter than that.
Yeah. But just in case, like if someone resonates with it, they could feel that and open up all those feelings again. So this is going to be not as heavy, but still heavy and very important. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Or we'll just make as many jokes as we can because I deflect with humor.
Sometimes so do I. Yeah. But I've written a heap of questions down. So
Yeah, he's got a big scary page of stuff over there. I've not seen or heard any of this yet.
No. I asked if you wanted to see it, and you said no. So we're going into this blindfolded. So I'll just straight off out the bat, I'm just going to ask you a question, and we'll see where this leads. How's that?
Sounds good to me. I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Just we've done a few now, and it's like, ooh. I don't think I've actually opened up on any of the episodes really.
Not
at this
extensively,
level.
have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been like, how are you going?
Yeah.
Not a, ooh, this is something that happened to me.
I feel like we're switching roles because like you are an incredibly good host.
I don't like being a bottom very much.
And I'm the talking head, and then you tell all these fancy jokes that just go over my head, and I look dumb. And I do not consider myself dumb, but I look dumb when I hear them back, and I'm like, oh god.
Makes great content though, to be fair.
It does, yeah.
And the people who get my jokes are there's something wrong with them because they're not great jokes.
Yeah. All right, all that aside, I'm going to get into it. So I got here, before we get into this Christmas day, can you share where you were emotionally in the season of life before Christmas Day?
Could you have had a more pointy question to start with? Like, Jesus, man. The weeks like leading up to Christmas were like massive for me. So I had my boy some of the time, but I knew I didn't have him around Christmas. And it really brought up a lot of memories around like the last Christmas. And so at that point, like my marriage was falling apart, and it was like, I just want to have a Christmas with a family all together again. It was hard. It was really confronting to be like counting down the days. Everyone's getting progressively more excited, and I'm like, oh no, Christmas is coming, and I've got nothing to look for on it.
So just to be clear, we're doing week on, week off with...
Yeah, with my ex doing half the time at the moment. And she was quite accommodating around it, but it's also like, what am I going to grab my boy and he spends time with just me, or with me and my mum's in the hospital at the moment and her, or would he then at the very least go and spend it with like his mum and her friends and family and stuff and have a really like fun time? And it was like, do I really want to be tearing him away from that, from where I was at the time? And like the build up was really difficult. Like, I didn't even have a Christmas tree really organized until I know a weekend of December or something. And organizing presents was very strange for me because it's not something I've really done much. Like, I'm not a gift person. I'm a big fan of like, don't buy me things and I won't buy you things, and we'll go and do something together.
It's the dad thing, you know, we bought you this. It's like...
It's you know, the bills are paid and the lights are on, and there was definitely Christmas spending money. There's things there that you'll like, I'm sure. And it was really like he's only young, so it's like, what on earth do you get a kid for Christmas?
Yeah, I saw you at the shops, and yeah, you got him the ball because he was excited, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he got a soccer ball so he could play with that together, and
yep,
like some trucks and toys and stuff. They're all things that we could do together. I figured at his age is more important than things to keep him out of my way.
yeah,
As bad as it sounds, it's that real dichotomy of being busy and a parent is like, I want to spend all of the time with him when I've got him that half the time, but also toddler time takes 3 times longer than anything non-toddler time.
absolutely.
And just as a side note, not to derail too far, but like we had a cyclone coming a couple of weeks ago, and I found that having him join me for preparing for it and organizing was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But there came a point, and I might be a bad parent for this, and if I am, feel free to call me out. But I was just like, buddy, you got to go watch TV. Like, I have like 5 hours of stuff to do. You need to go watch a movie for a couple of hours, and then we'll go have some lunch or something. Because like, I need to get things done, and it takes too long with you.
I wouldn't say you're a bad parent for that. Like, you have things to do. You've got a time limit to get it done, and if you don't get it done, the cyclone will damage things. So, I mean, risk versus reward.
He was pretty happy. He ate a boatload of fruit from like the cyclone prep food, and he had a good time. But it was still like, every 10, 15 minutes I'm going and seeing him and checking on him in like his giant like baby-proof room I've got set up, and it's like, are you still having fun, bud? You okay in here? And he looks up, he's like, Dad, and it's like, I know, but I've got to keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that was it's like really confronting every time I have something like that.
Can I also add, I think it's very noble of you, like, to put your sort of feelings, emotions aside and let him have Christmas Day with your wife, like, your ex-wife. Like, I think it's very noble of you to, like, not fight for it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to, put that out there. That
it's sort of not how I thought about it. It was more so that just I wanted him to have the best Christmas he could.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you're putting your things aside. Like,
even going forwards, that may end up being the case more often than not, where we have Christmas on the Boxing Day with us.
Yeah.
Just because I don't really have the family in town or anything, and as much as it'll be fun and he'll enjoy it, it's not the same experience of Christmas. And I don't want him to be going like backwards and forwards on Christmas Day. I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
It's like you spend the day with one of us and have that day as the Christmas Day, and you enjoy it. And he had fun. We ended up going to Dan's place and having it with all the family there and stuff on the Boxing Day, and he had a blast with the kids and had fun.
Yeah.
But it was lots of ums. It was still difficult because it wasn't what I guess had pictured that being.
Yeah, just as a sidebar with the we've spoke extensively about trying to limit them to become better linguists. But I've also found that when you're talking about something emotional or hard, you do fill the gaps with a lot of ums, and it's uncontrollable. Like, even though we've really,
even with the focus on it, it's that
hammered this in. So
it's the emotions overwhelm your ability to articulate how you're trying to express yourself at the time. So you're just like, and dead air isn't always great, but even just the pauses.
But
I find saying is like changing gear. It takes you over to really consider it again.
Yeah,
which isn't great. I did radio, and you do not say or are on air at all.
For sure.
But it's not very deep either.
Yeah. Oh, I got another one here. Oh, there we go. Did it again. Call it out. We should do a count. But anyway,
if I get excited, I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
But that means I've got to listen to this word by word, and you'd be amazed how I do.
Surely there's an AI that can do it.
There will be.
Yeah. We'll be talking about our arms, and it'll count it. But yeah. No. Did you know what to expect this Christmas before reality really set in?
No. I was I was under the notion that it would be something manageable. So my idea of it was that I would wake up and it would feel kind of maybe lonely at the time, to sort of go from having like a family at home and having quite big sort of Christmases with my ex's family and things like that, and my son to I guess just waking up and being like, I have nowhere to be and nothing to do, and it's Christmas. And that was something I'd really thought about being quite, I think, manageable, but as it became closer and closer and as time went on, I sort of got a little bit more daunted by it. But on Christmas, it was hard to describe what it was actually like in the morning. Waking up, it was like a really cold shower all at once, which wasn't good. Is your selfie cam recording?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Sorry. But it was like a cold shower because it was already quite intense, but it was very overwhelming to sort of wake up, walk out, look at like the tree and the presents, and then go, that's right. There's nothing.
Okay. I don't know really how to open that up anymore, but sorry. Were there any positives that you held into going into Christmas Day?
Yeah. This feels very question and answer, but the one thing that I think I could hold on to and definitely made the day easier was that I knew my son was having a really good time.
Yeah.
Like he was having fun, he was with people that loved him and cared for him, and no matter sort of where I was, he was having a good time.
It's a very selfless answer. Yeah.
Because he was having fun. And
Yeah, of course.
I'm fairly sure my ex sent me a picture of him through the day, like having fun and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Which is one of those like bittersweet things where it's like, oh, that's really nice, but also that hurts.
Yeah, of course.
But it was really good seeing and understanding that he was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't have that same feeling at the time. So like that moment where all parents sort of know it, where they're like, you can live vicariously through your kids a little bit and be like, well, if they're happy, at least I can be somewhat content in where I'm at. I really tried to hold on to that to make the day go by a bit quicker. And I definitely filled the day in. Like,
yeah,
I woke up and it wasn't great, so I was like, I'm going to work out. And then all of a sudden, a normal workout became 2 hours and I was sore and
aggressive workout. Yeah.
absolutely fucked. And then I sort of was looking down. I have a lot of really good friends who'd offered for me to come and do Christmas with them. And I was looking at like what I was going to do. And in the end, I went, I'll get on the bike and I'll cruise around and I'll figure something out based on what ends up happening. And I ended up getting a call from Fez, and he was looking for... No, it wasn't a call from Fez. I think it was someone else. And I ended up sort of going around to Dan and them's place, and it was I remember being a kid and going around there for like Christmas and stuff, and it was like everyone goes there. So I end up there, and it's sort of like once you're there, it's like, well, here's the place to be for it.
Yeah, shout out the Safakianicus family. They've held it down for years for all of us, hey? Yeah. All right. Can you... This will be hard, but walk me through the morning, because it's not just not having your son there, but it was also the fact that your mother not being in the best position either, like making the weight very heavy. So I guess walk me through that. You've got these two demons sort of fighting you, essentially.
I guess the best way to describe it was I tried to take on. Might be counterproductive. I don't know if I can story tell this part particularly well, but I woke up and it was very overwhelming. Just that initial wake up and walk out. And I went into that sort of intensive workout where I didn't feel like I was trying to challenge that feeling or that moment. I was sort of challenging myself to just sort of demonstrate that I can take that weight. So I went directly from working out and then, obviously a shower, because anyone who's been outside recently knows that you are absolutely dripping after a half an hour of anything outside.
Mm-hmm.
I went straight to the hospital to then sort of try and do something with my mum for Christmas, which her position's really quite difficult, and it's not going to get easier. And because of that, the emotional load that she places on me is very significant. There's only so many times you can hear a parent saying they want to die before it's just like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then it was sort of like a lot. So I sort of just challenged myself to start the day and then pushed forwards.
Yeah.
Because there was no other real options around it. I couldn't stay at home. I definitely wouldn't have been doing well. So I just kept moving forwards in the hopes that once you're at the other side, it's better.
Yeah, change the scenery. Do you think with the workout, like you weren't working out to become better muscularly, like you were doing it to battle these demons essentially? You're taking your mind off it.
I have that in one of my my journal notes. It's actually reflected pretty continuously through my therapy journey. And thank God, like I was getting real fat before everything sort of imploded in my life. Like I've got before and after pictures. Maybe I'll post them one day if I feel brave. But I was not doing well. Like I'm not in shape now, but you've seen them. I was going like tub of lard kind of level. I think that the act of doing some sort of difficult movement allows to more readily process emotions that you otherwise can't tackle.
Agreed. Yeah.
If something feels heavy, it's hard, but it's much easier to be lifting something heavy and then feeling something heavy, because every time you then go back between sets, rest and process, and then go back to lifting, that moment of clarity where you get that extra rep, or you're doing bench and you get down to the bottom and you're trying to push it up and you're just wheezing and you're like, I don't have this. Every single time you push another rep out, you have that sense that, I can do it. I can handle this weight. And I think that reinforcement or getting another minute of bag work or getting a few more curls in, that little bit of a push gives you that win that you need to then look internally and tackle something difficult. And I'm sure you must. I think every man has something similar inside of them if they're really honest. Is like, have you experienced that at all, where you've been pushing something complex emotionally, maybe? Not that you're necessarily super emotional with stoicism being so core to you, but where you're pushing something that doesn't just align or is hard to realign. A good workout helps you to then go through that and realign.
Another thing that's more coming to mind was recently doing a large fast. Day 2, I was getting really frustrated, so I thought I'd take it out in the gym, and I did what I would call a similar workout to what you've done, where I just went hard. I wasn't following any strategic thing or anything. I was doing it just to sort of take my mind off, going really heavy for absolutely no reason. And I think just doing that, it accomplished the goal. I wanted to just bypass time and sort of get past what I was dealing with at the time. And so I assume it's along the same lines as that.
I think it'd be very similar. Maybe the same process, but looked at it from different lights. Because I'm much more maybe deep into the journaling and noticing, and you're much more in this is a thing I'm going through right now. Which makes for really interesting discussions around that mindset shift.
Absolutely.
Where we both reframe things to each other in such opposing ways at times. It's amazing we don't argue about things more. We're both avid learners, so we're like, that's an interesting way of looking at that. I wonder what I can learn from this.
Yeah, well, I feel like I've become so much better, even just from doing this podcast with you, like, conversating about different things that we're doing and things that we just talked about our bloody finances before this. And
we're like, how do we hyper optimize this?
Yeah, like I hope that I've had some sort of effect on you too in becoming better. So
I think you've given me more drive and more of a push than you'd realize in a lot of ways. Like, this podcast started off as like, oh, it's something to do. Now it's like, this is something I want to do and do well.
Yeah.
And I'm finding, even though it's hard for time a lot, it's really good to have that drive. And then working out, you send me your progress or what you're doing, and I'm like, I've got to get my shit together. I can't, I'm not missing a session.
It's funny you mentioned that. When you send me your watch, the numbers. What are you talking about? I'm like, he's put in some work. But yeah, we're going to have to go through that, by the way. But yeah.
I'm dying to see. I'd love to get one of those watches on you and just see how you're stacking up.
Yeah.
Because I think we'd both just start competing backwards and forwards to get better numbers.
Maybe we should. Maybe that's the next move.
And the thing that comes to mind from that, and is a good one, is like, you went up in bench recently, and I'd changed workouts to more compound lifts. And I was like, fuck my compound lifts. I'm going back to bench. I need to match these numbers at least. And I went back to it straight up in weight, and I'm feeling it. I'm on a cut right now, and I'm feeling every rep.
Yeah.
So I'm getting there, and every rep is just like, but I'm keeping that weight still. And it's not much weight. To be fair, like, neither of us are lifting super heavy.
Yeah.
And we probably shouldn't be, because we're on our own most of the time. But
yeah.
It's all real weight too. It's all iron. It's all, we're not on a Smith machine.
We're on our own journey. So yeah. But the competition drives us to get better results. So
I look at where we started. Wasn't like, I started rebenching at 30 kilos. That's not great for a man. Let's be really blunt here. It's not great.
Yep.
But I'm much happier with where I'm at now, almost a year into the journey.
Well, it's like that saying, the best tree to plant was 20 years ago, and the next best tree to plant's today. So if you're going to look at it that way, like,
compounding interest.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, we're sidebarring a little bit, so I'm gonna come back with a question.
Making space to avoid the depth and fucking difficulty of these questions. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm going to crucify. You got me on the abortion app. I'm going to crucify you on this one.
I'm sorry, but yeah, we're going deep.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Yes. So, not that it's the same, and I don't want to sound like I'm competing with you at all. But last Christmas, I had to work Christmas Day, and although there were positives like 3.2 times my normal pay rate, I only had to work 5 hours. Blah blah blah. I felt shithouse, to put it lightly. Like, the entire time, I'm not thinking about the money I'm making. I'm thinking about, oh, my kids are up now. They're probably having breakfast. Absolutely riveted to open these presents, and I'm out literally tipping people's rubbish. Like, so there was this, I was really excited about going to work because it was 3.2 times your normal pay. But in the time of doing it, meant nothing. Like, I would have paid that out of my normal wage to be at home. So
that's really interesting, where you came into it, I guess, looking at the finances of it and going, this is an awesome chance to make a few dollars. And then once you're actually there in that moment, you had to go through what was it like feeling, I guess, the transition of, oh my God, I'm getting, 2 days wages for 5 hours. And then going, oh, my kids aren't with me on Christmas morning.
Well, look, at the end of the day, Christmas is just another day with some sort of hyper meaning to it.
The significance being, it's like that day of year where you're supposed to just focus on family.
Yeah, exactly. So, and don't try to flip this. I'm asking the questions here, mate. No, but
It was a statement worth a bit of depth. Thank you. No.
But yeah, look, it was hard. It was weird going into it thinking financially, but then thinking, oh no, the guilt, and then almost the anger at myself for choosing that over staying home.
Oh, so you chose to work Christmas?
Oh yeah. Anyway,
fuck, that would have been really confronting. Like an hour or two in,
yeah, it was
your
like
kids are getting up, and
I fucked up this, and I don't want to do that again. Like, it's fucking rubbish for fuck's sake. Like, I'm
can't
angry
wait a
at
day.
it. Yeah, and it is what it is. But you must have felt feelings of, these are some of the feelings I felt, but sadness, anger, guilt, almost a sense of numbness.
It was more, I think after sort of working through it, I got to a point where it was surreal. So like it was just like another day, just like a weekend, like another weekend almost, where I don't have him. Because the weekends where I don't have him are very much like that. And they're convenient for things like filming and getting stuff done, sure, whatever. But
It wouldn't have the weight of Christmas, though.
no, and I think the comparison's good because like a normal day without your child as a father who's present and cares sucks. Like waking up, you sort of wake up and it's like, I've got things to do. And then you don't care about any of them. They don't seem significant anymore. It feels like none of it really matters in comparison and not having them around. And then Christmas it got to that point where it was surreal, sort of like a weekend, or maybe I thought of it that way to make coping a little easier.
Yeah.
But it was very, I don't know if it was a mix of emotions. I think it was just cripplingly sad more than anything. Where it is that day where it's like this, it wasn't just losing him, it was sort of the life I had and the family I had reinforced. And like that last Christmas sucked too. So it was like reinforced that the last Christmas I had with, at that stage, my family sucked. And then I won't get that again. It was really hard to sort of say goodbye to that as a thought or as an idea. And like obviously, you can get a new partner in the future, make a new family and whatever, but it's never going to be that same way again.
But the values you can instill in the next relationship can be like concrete. This is what I value.
I think the lessons I've learnt focusing inwards have enough merit that I won't go through the same thing again.
Yeah.
And I won't make the same mistakes again either.
Actually, that's a good question. Do you think that would make it harder for the next female or male? But I'm assuming female.
I'm sorry, I don't like dudes. I know you're offering, bro, but I'm not into it.
No, because the barrier to entry is becoming smaller. Do you think?
I don't like to think of it as the barrier to entry, because that's quite a reductionist take on it. I like to think of it as that the tolerance for having different levels of values and different understandings are very different. I think I'll be probably quicker, probably much less patient and much faster to walk away from something, even if the feelings are there,
Yeah.
if it can't be healthy and aligned to not just my needs, but theirs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm bad for someone, I think I'll be much more willing to pull the pin on a relationship because I'm bad for them, even if I'm having a great time. And I'd like to think that the opposite's also true,
Yeah.
where if they're bad for me and I'm having a great time and there's still feelings there, I'll be much more willing to pull the pin and walk away if we can't realign to where we're healthy or good for each other. I've spent a lot of time talking about this lately with a friend of mine, and they've sort of pointed out that there's going to be points in every relationship where you're sort of not great for each other, or you're unhealthy, or you have disagreements, but it's what you do with that matters. And I'd like to think that I will be better at spotting that, but who knows?
Yeah.
That's when that happens, it happens.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. So I've literally written here, continue my praise that I have for calm and my admiration. So I'm going to point.
What is this?
Take this time to.
Is there a pause to glaze me? What is going on?
Take this time to really kiss your ass. No, I'm joking. No, I think you're an incredible human being. Like, we've spoke endlessly on your schedule and your time management skills. Insane.
I wouldn't call them good.
Your sleep is terrible.
That's
The way I need to fix some of those things over there, you need to fix your sleep.
Yeah.
Even if it's by an hour and a half, I think you'd see incredible benefits from that.
I'm at the point where if I get more than like 5 hours a night, it's rare and it's bad. It's definitely shortening my life.
Oh, absolutely.
There's only so far like caffeine and frustration can take you.
Yeah.
And I realize that every night now I do journaling and I'm reading every night, and there's nothing quite like sitting up, writing and journaling, and then blinking and then being like 20 minutes later and you're like, oh shit, I fell asleep while doing something in a chair upright.
Yeah, and I don't think you can count that towards your actual sleep.
I don't imagine so.
Oh, yeah.
But it's at that point where it's like, I've got to change something. I think I'm hitting the end of what I can sustain. But emotionally, I don't know if I can change without it affecting me too significantly at the moment. It's like the main driver, right? You're just like, yes, I feel really shitty most of the time. But I'm going to fill my life with crap, with tick boxes.
Yeah.
And as long as I achieve enough things, I'll stay sane enough to keep doing what I'm doing. I did a huge career review over the last couple of months. That's actually come up in my career review that my emotional instability currently, not being reflected in my work, is very likely going to inhibit my career prospects, because I've demonstrated that even under pressure that isn't reasonable, I will keep my head down and get the job done, because that's how I'm placing my own self-value. And because of that, you become that almost too reliable to promote, right? That if you keep doing the job properly and you don't complain or push hard enough to change, you'll never get an opportunity to really change.
I'm not sure about that, because you've also, I don't want to say the word threaten, but push. You went out and you've asked for another job that, pays substantially more, but the benefits were less or something.
Yeah, the pay was more, but the benefits were much worse.
Leveraging yourself against your current position, and you ended up in the plus anyway. So, I do see strengths there.
It was good for that, but I'm talking about complete positional change, sideways movement into a different style of role. Because why would they want to replace me in my role when they could not, right? Why would they give me the opportunity to do something that has, I guess, more growth long term? Because I'm sort of at the top of my current role, and while there's still more room for more money technically, there's not much more room for more interesting or challenging work. And room for more money isn't great. Like, as bad as it sounds, I was making more money 5 years ago than I am today.
Right.
Because even with the pay rises over time, there was overtime and there was more benefits and things like that at that period than there is today.
Yeah.
Which hurts because cost of living is way worse today.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like, I look down the barrel of the money I could spend years ago on the budgets from years ago, and it's like, oh, I had, extra wiggle room. It was good. Could live really good. Like, could go out to dinner, 3 or 4 nights a week. And now it's like, oh, there's no room at all to pay a mortgage and daycare and all that sort of stuff on a single income.
Yeah, daycare stinks, man. We just finished Ryder, so we're looking forward to that tiny little extra bit that we got.
Go into your slush fund, or hopefully not.
No, hopefully not.
We're gonna have a look at that.
Yeah.
Yours is good. I like budgeting a lot, and I've been doing a lot with people. We talk about it every episode at the moment.
Yeah.
If you don't budget, it's very important. And for most people, Dave Ramsey's rules are more than enough.
Yeah, I'd agree with
His
that.
7 steps are more than enough for the average person. If you just don't know, it's good. I'd recommend an app, but I haven't found one in Australia I like.
Yeah.
That is easy to use. The one I use is a pain in the ass because you got to manually enter everything and you got to be strict and honest.
Yeah.
I love that because it means it forces me every time I spend $1 to press the buttons and put down I've spent $1.
Yeah.
I just realized I should look at the time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, going back to the praise, like I was watching you just pull numbers and just on the bloody calculator, and you're gonna, save $60 a month, and it's like you just pulled that out of nothing. Like
I've got a pad at home with the formulas if you want them.
I'm not that anal about it, but yeah. No, going back to
I'm
the praise.
difficult. I'm like, what are you doing? You could save $1,500 a year with this change. Yeah. What are you doing?
Going back to the praise, I think you're an incredible human being, and I just wanted to tell you that. So yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll take the glazing.
All right, next thing. What do you think people who haven't been through this misunderstand the most?
Ooh. As someone who didn't understand it properly, I think it's the feelings. Before becoming a father, I think I looked at those moments as like, well, they would suck, right? They would suck, but there's something you could easily sort of compartmentalize or manage. But because becoming a parent becomes, I guess, such an integral part of your identity or your core self over, maybe not instantly. I didn't find that instantly, personally, but over time, it's like losing part of yourself, or maybe even grieving the loss of part of yourself, and not probably not in the same way as like you lose an arm or something, but sort of like you lose a sense of, I guess, control and safety in your life, because at that point it's like, well, you couldn't keep your family safe or anything, and you don't have any control in your life really, because external forces have taken away the thing that you're supposed to be able to hold nearest and dearest to you.
Yeah, of course. I guess that question's sort of directed towards people that don't have kids, or yeah,
which is why I wanted to highlight it as like I never understood it.
Yeah,
is how much, like, everyone says kids change you, and yeah, sure, having kids changes people, but it's not the change that's immediate that happens where you're really confronted and scared and you've got to like get your shit together. It's that a year or two in when they start having personalities and they start being like, your little sidekick, your little buddy. Not having them around at all is hard. Like, even dropping my boy off to daycare in the mornings kind of sucks, because it's like, I'd rather you just join me.
Mm.
It doesn't feel, I guess, natural or normal to have other people raise your kids and see them more than you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because with 50-50, I see my kid. If we're being really honest, I'm seeing him, I don't know, maybe 60 hours a fortnight, 70 hours a fortnight.
Yeah.
Because he's got 45 hours a fortnight. 45 hours of my time a fortnight at daycare. So it's a lot of time that he's at somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't like someone else raising your kids. Like the idea of having a partner that doesn't work, instilling basically the family values that you want into the kids, rather than having outside human beings instilling their education or their values into the kids, and then them coming home and us trying to correct it is, I find that difficult myself. So having that on top, I can only imagine. But
it's sort of like that the challenge where you go, this is what I want my kid to do, and then I think normal families are pulled two ways. Or I shouldn't say normal anymore, because the majority of people in Australia are getting divorced. It's not a great country for relationships, it turns out. I'd be interested to know if it is back to like Dave Ramsey's figures, where it is mostly financial, because that would be an interesting one. But with that, your kids aren't being raised by like you and then the state essentially, or like private institutions. They're being raised by you, your ex, and then those groups. And there's no real easy way to have cohesive messaging between the three without it just being this kind of consistent, like, emotional blunderbuss where you're just getting like blown apart at every opportunity, because you're always conceding things that you think are the right way to do things.
Yeah, of course.
Because you can't all do different things. Like, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't do 3 different methods of teaching something and expect a poor child to learn that thing. And I've been very fortunate so far that it's mostly been very aligned. But it will be definitely difficult going forwards around that.
Yeah. I just want to bring this up as well, but Ryder's daycare, before he finished, they gave me some form. I don't even know what it was for. It's besides the point. But one of the questions was, does your child identify as anything? Like, one of those stupid questions. And like, I
decided he's a helicopter.
Well, I personally crossed it out and I wrote, "What the fuck?"
Good on you.
And no one pulled me up for it or anything. And I honestly hoped that they would, but they didn't. So I'm hoping that was enough. But I hope that I got joined by at least 1 or 2 other parents that did the same thing. I don't want to see that in my... This is a daycare. This isn't even primary school yet, you know? And they're talking about this. Like, so it's not the values I want in my kids. And
I would argue that at a certain age, you know, maybe 18, who knows? I don't know if 18 is actually old enough, because the stats are really poor for people who transition around 18. But at a certain age, we should let people do what they want. But we really should be reviewing why before then. And there would be, as a society, we could find a statistical average to make it right. And that's not as oh no, I think it's wrong personally. I don't care at all. Do whatever the hell you want. Don't force on my kids. But as a society, we really should probably review the statistics around that stuff and start trying to adjust accordingly.
We could probably put
Like
a
if
whole
you want to
episode into
transition,
that,
do it. That's
Yeah.
fine. I will support you. I'll call you whatever the hell you want. I don't care.
I won't.
He won't. He'll fight you tooth and nail every step of the way. I'll call you whatever you want. You can be a she, a they, a zim. You can be any letter of the rainbow of colors and things. But I think there should be a lot of questioning around that at a certain age. Like we make assisted suicide so difficult in Australia, but we make things that generally lead to suicide very easy. And that's not to say that people who transition are all committing suicide. It's to say that the statistics show that it's not generally a good long-term outlook.
I think we're going to have to do a whole episode.
I think this is one where
like,
we'll disagree on it in a lot of ways.
Possibly.
And it'll be really good.
Possibly. But yeah, I think that's good. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. So, yeah.
I think you're a bit less tolerant than I am in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But yeah. All right. This is an interesting one because you could possibly attack me on this one.
Ooh, Q&A. Let's go.
Was there anything that either myself or well-meaning people said that made this day harder for you?
Ooh, fuck.
I realize that that's almost a little selfish. Like I'm only trying to better myself. So
that's one that I really had to pause there and think about properly. I think the most... I don't know if there's a way to explain it without sounding a little bit like a cunt, but I think the thing that was the hardest was everybody that was trying to mean well and check in sort of came across very much like, oh, you clearly shouldn't be okay with what's happening.
Right.
So obviously you're not okay. That's very hard to hear for like the weeks before, because I got a lot of really amazing friends and they're special to me. But having them be like, oh, you can spend Christmas with us, or oh, you can do things, or oh, we know you're alone, so you should probably do something. And it's like, I will figure something out. I'm an adult. Please stop reminding me how horrible Christmas is going to be. I already have that in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to face it on the day and not ruin the weeks before it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think
it was sort of like it stretched what was going to be a hard moment into like a hard fortnight.
Yeah.
And having that fortnight wasn't great. So that entire like fortnight was just like I have my birthday, and then going up after that week before sort of Christmas, I had my boy, which was really great. But then it's like Christmas, I don't have him, and it wasn't a great fortnight as a whole. And then having that sort of continual reinforcement of like, oh, Christmas is going to suck for you. Do you want it to like come and suck it with us? And it's like, I would love that. Like, I definitely don't want to be home alone, but I also don't want to be hearing about it. Like, message me the day before Christmas maybe, or check in on Christmas. But I don't want to fucking know about it 2 weeks in advance.
Right.
Because it's already something you're sort of... And having experienced it, I don't know whether next year will be even harder as a result. I think it might be. I think it's the sort of thing where until I'm in a position where he can have as good of a Christmas with me and what I'm doing as he does with his mother, then it's very hard to do like Christmas, you know? And it's fine to be like, there's always like you do Christmas the next day or whatever. But if one side of the family's doing Christmas things on Christmas, it's better he be doing the Christmas things on Christmas.
Yeah.
Than being like separate from that. And with that, it's kind of like, I don't want to go through that build up again of the 2 weeks before being like, oh, Christmas is going to suck. And that continual reminder, like, I know it is. I'm thinking about it already.
Right.
And I know everyone's reaching out just to be kind and check in, but sometimes it's very hard to have that moment where people sort of check in on you.
It's really interesting that you say that. Like, I'm really seesawing with this in my brain because we also invited you over, and you know, do you think that's a weird perception? I don't want to sound insensitive when I say this. Like,
I'm hearing little bitch noises. Just say it.
no, like, because we didn't want you to be alone. Like, we wanted you to have good people around you, regardless of whose house you went to. We wanted you to have people around you, so you enjoyed a Christmas. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think of it in the way you've mentioned it.
Yeah, and it wasn't my intent to sort of frame it that way. It was just the way I felt at the time.
Yeah.
And like, obviously I'm doing the self-work to try and tackle those sort of things so that maybe I won't feel that way next time. And I know it's insensitive to the people who did reach out to say that. But it was just the way that I felt at the time.
Yeah.
Where it was like, I don't want to keep thinking about and being reminded of this bad thing that's upcoming.
Yeah.
I want to put down the bad thing that's upcoming because there's nothing I can do to make it less confronting and difficult. Like, it's fine to spend it with someone else, but as bad as it sounds, it's still not the same as having it with your own family.
Yeah, of course. You said something at Dan's house that I haven't brought up with you outside of this.
Ooh, treasure.
And I'd like to explore that if you don't mind. You said some words
Some words.
that all you need is a rope. And I honestly, when Dan told me that, I was like, "Ooh, that's a real like black dog moment." Do you want to talk about that?
I don't think I have a way to really portray it very well. It's just kind of like... Fuck, that's a confronting one. Thank you.
Sorry, but yeah, I thought it was important.
It's kind of like an ongoing struggle where at times everything's heavy enough where it's like, fuck, I just don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the work to push through it or put it down, but it doesn't make it go away.
Of course.
So I use humor quite a lot to cope. It's an easy way to put something down that's very confronting or difficult for people and then go, oh, you know.
It's the story of Robin Williams. So, yeah. Do you want a tissue, bro?
I might actually need one in a sec. No, I'll be all right. Oh, that hit me. But no, it's sort of like an ongoing struggle. Like, I wouldn't point out the fact that I regularly do therapy and I do the work because I think with the amount of things that I've tried to take on at once emotionally, I definitely wouldn't be around anymore without it. Because even with friends, even with people who love you, even with everyone around, it doesn't stop those feelings. It doesn't change. It just makes them easier to bear.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm still here.
You are. I think I'm going to end this on one last question for you. I'm going to skip a question. I don't really see any juice there, so
Nothing to squeeze.
I'm going to give you one last question. What do you want your son to one day understand about your sacrifice?
None of it.
None of it.
None of it. I don't want him to understand any of it at all. I don't want him to ever have to think about it, know it, or understand it. I don't want him to have to experience it, or it to be something that he's ever aware of as anything other than that happens to other people. And that might be selfish in a way that I'm just hoping that he never has to go through something that statistically he's likely to. But I would rather he look at me as someone who's worked hard for him and not someone who's struggled. Because it's better that he never has to feel any way other than supported and loved. It's sort of the curse of something you hold as a kid. When you grow up in a broken home, generally a lot of kids feel like they're not good enough, or like they're a burden, or like their parents suffer because of them. I don't want him to ever understand or feel any of that.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not up to me, but if I can keep that from him as much as I can, I will.
It's beautiful.
Well, it's not a complicated, like, I imagine you'd do the same for your kids. It's not that heavy of a cross to bear to look at your kids and go, they shouldn't have to understand how hard some things can be.
I do want my kids to go through hard things.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. But
it's not about hard things. It's about understanding them. Like, there's a big difference between having a moment in your life that shatters who you are and your expectations of the future, and having continual moments like that for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
It's not fair or reasonable for any child to have to go through that.
Well, I think that about wraps this one up. I'm going to drop the mic and give this man a fucking hug because he deserves it. And he's one of my boys. And I think we'll just end it there.
Bye.